What's going on, you gamers? Today we're back with some more Evil Dead the game. What we're going over today is 5 of my top teams in which you can put together to have an awesome time and just make it a lot easier facing those demons. So if you want to know what my favourite teams are, then stay tuned. That's coming up next. Welcome back all you guys and girls, as always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, then why not hit that subscribe and bell icon. I'll bring you all the latest and greatest content, hints, tips, guides and builds, and just some fun gameplay and reviews of upcoming games. But for today I'm here to show you 5 teams that work really well, chuck the right combo of characters together and your life is just going to be a lot easier. Obviously you've got 4 different kind of selections to make, from leader, support, warrior and of course hunter. So without further ado, kicking off at number 5, this team right here will be starting off with none other than Henry the Red. An absolute beast of a warrior, very tanky and can hold the line no matter what situation. As you can see from the title, we're going to be calling this one Shielded Stealth. Alongside him, another warrior that works very well with shields, and that's none other than Army of Darkness Ash. These two are going to be your main focus for damage, for holding the line, for having an abundance of shields. It's just going to be a lot of fun to play. Also, we're going to be using an Ed Getley. You might think this is a very odd choice. The reason I've put him in is because he really helps out to make it so that the demon has a tough time leveling up. He disarms the traps. He also has the added ability, once he's maxed out, of you all having a greater chance of getting better rarity loot. Of course, if you find better rarity loot and higher levels of chests, you're also going to level up your characters faster with their health, with their melee, because you're going to get more pink stuff. And last but definitely not least, you're going to have Pablo. He's going to be your shield giver. He's going to be the guy that's making sure you've got an all-round solid team, constantly shielded up at all times, and of course give you a little bit of healing if needed. If you really wanted to in a good team, he could also gather a couple of pieces of the map and leave these others alone to fend for themselves, but I found most times bopping around together as a team worked best. All in all, this gives you enough shields, it gives you enough health, it gives you enough survivability and damage in order to beat those demons. Jumping over to our number 4 slot, and the other 4 members, we're gonna be kicking it off again with Henry the Red. Like I said, this guy is just an absolute beast. If at any time you want to swap one of these out for your favourite one, so another warrior for another warrior, you very well can do, but I'm picking the ones that I feel kind of are the strongest currently at the moment. Henry the Red definitely falls under that category, as does this girl right here, Kelly. Kelly is just an absolute monster at causing damage. If you want a boss gone, if you want to cause a lot of damage, and the fact that she can actually move around for I think it's about 6 or 7 seconds when she activates her ability without any worries for stamina, means she can get in and get out very fast. Now the title says it all, heals for days. With this, you're going to need someone who provides some healing, and for that we've got the support of Ash 1. This guy will be doing his heavy attacks, he'll be able to heal, and of course if he needs to provide extra healing for the hunter, he will take those headshots and then they'll be able to get the healing from that. One thing to note at the moment, if someone does actually melee the character you've shot before the hunter manages to shoot them, they're going to negate the buff, so make sure you're kind of playing as a team. And last but definitely not least, even though after the recent patch she's had a big nerf, she's still definitely the best healer in the game, and that's Cheryl. This is the girl you're going to go to whenever you need your big healing. With this, you've got an off healer with Ash, and you've got a big healer with Cheryl, meaning that you're absolutely healed for days, like the title says, and you've got enough damage to not worry about things as well, with Henry and Kelly. Jumping in at our number 3 spot, and this time we've got a complete difference, and that is with Annie Nelby. Annie is just really good. I think she's top tier, very possibly one of the strongest characters in the game because of her balance bar damage and how much range damage she provides for the team, with a buff of over 100%. Hand in hand with her, because we do definitely want to take advantage of her auras, and we're going to be using the Hunter Ash 2. This guy's going to be able to provide a nice bit of damage, he's going to be able to show you where all of the crates are, meaning you can pick them up nice and easy, and of course he's able to knock out any of the people that are possessed. Really nice with his possession ability. Like I said, because we're using Annie, we want to focus this more around a hunter kind of team, and it's called Hunter's Delight, so no doubt you'll have worked out we'll be using more than one. And of course, like I said, strongest at the moment I believe is definitely Kelly. She has actually got a bit of a bug about her at the moment with her perk for level 25, so we'll have to see how that works out at some point, but for the moment she's definitely the strongest. So with that, she's going to be the second hunter, meaning that we're going to have some ridiculous damage and those bosses won't stand a chance. Last but definitely not least, this guy right here, the support Ash, is going to be the guy that you go to in order to mark those headshots. You're going to get your health back that way. He can go in with the heavy melees if you want to do it that way as well. But altogether, this team really synergizes well and is an absolute sight to behold in a well organised team. Hunter's Delight definitely lives up to its name, as you've got additional damage, additional balance bar damage, additional healing, all going off in the same team. Now jumping over to our second spot, and one of my favourite teams that I've actually played in, this one's called Melee Madness, and the reason for that is because everyone is close range. We're kicking it off with Arthur, a really nice kind of leader to use, but only in the right circumstances. He's very squishy, but in this team his aura effects just buff everyone and make you have a lot of fun while you're doing it. Just over here, and we've also got the leader Ash. This seems like a very odd choice, but hand in hand they boost the damage of your team. He's got an aura effect to boost damage, Arthur's got an aura effect to boost damage, and it just means your light and heavies are gonna hit like absolute trucks. Jumping straight into our third spot, and we've got Army of Darkness Ash. This guy is going to be the guy that's dishing out the most damage in the whole team, and by an absolute mile. With the right setup, get him a sword, do not get him a chainsaw. A sword definitely works best, I found, in this team synergy, because it just hits so hard. If you want to hit everything and knock them over before you go into their balance bar, you very well can. If you don't, then use your light attacks and you'll be able to go into that balance bar in order to get his shield breaks going off. Alongside that, again, we're going to be using the support Ash. All of these will be going in with melee attacks, which is really good because if you don't want to focus on that range damage, it means even if one of them's getting taken over, as long as you focus on him, use your light attacks and you can knock him out of possession very easy. If you're after a devastating close range team that focuses on heavy hits and destroying things very fast, then this works absolutely perfect. And if you'd rather use another warrior, say for example a Scotty, then you could quite easily switch them in without any issues. Last but definitely not least, and I've tried to put a team together that's very balanced. So with this team setup, we're kicking it off with Annie Nolby. I would say very possibly the strongest character in the game. Her buffs are ridiculous. You do need to have at least one hunter in her team to make her aura really shine. But ultimately the additional damage she gives to ranged and the additional balance bar damage makes her absolutely amazing. Hand in hand with her, if we chuck in another really tough hitting hunter and one that I've overused in this, Kelly, you're going to be melting anything that's in her path. But if you wanted to switch her out for another hunter, say for example an Amanda, that would also work perfect. The reason I've used Kelly so much is because at the moment when she's in combat she's getting that 2% extra damage, can quite easily go into a balance bar a little bit more, and she does the most damage with her weapons. Again, my other overused one is going to be the Army of Darkness Ash. He is just amazing in this team setup, very much the guy that needs to focus on the bosses. Doesn't necessarily have to dish out the most damage to kill them, but he has to make sure he's in front of them and the elites so Kelly can do her job of taking them out. He'll be able to sustain his shield, he'll be able to break their balance bars and keep himself alive, and even if he's struggling, then last but definitely not least, to finish off our well-rounded squad, we're going to have Cheryl, and she's going to be the designated healer. All in all, this team is pretty much the most balanced out of all of them, and it's just going to be an absolute blast to play with them because you're going to have a little bit of everything in the mix. You want to go into your finishers, you're able to because Annie's there. You want to do a bit more damage with your ranged weapons, you're able to because Annie's there. You want to take out a boss, Army of Darkness Ash can quite easily go in, tank it until Kelly can finish it off, or he can finish it off himself. If you're struggling for heals, Cheryl's going to be there for you, and you're always good to go. As always gamers, let me know in the comments if you've got any teams you think I've missed. I know I've used a lot of the same characters, but ultimately it is because they I believe are the strongest ones currently, and they just seem to synergise the best. But if you want to swap a few out, go for it, and if you think I've missed anything off, then let me know in the comments. As always, for all things gaming, for all things Xbox, take care, I'll see you on the next day.